Hey, how's it going? I'm Terry Jensen. I'm the pastor of First Baptist Church of Plano, Illinois, and I'm here through the week in my bedroom. Well, I've got some guests here, so excuse me. My daughter's in town with my granddaughter, so I thought I'd kind of hang out around the house here today because, well, I spend so little time with them, and man, do I enjoy having my family around. However, this is Through the Week, our Monday edition, and I do welcome you. And I hope that you'll hang out. We've been talking about faith and we've been talking about seeking the Lord. Last time around, we hit on a passage that we were talking about how how to impress God, I guess, because it says that it's impossible to please Him without faith. And so we're going to continue on that vein, talking about the faith component of our search, our journey for being in the presence of the Lord. So let's take a look at our passage for the day, okay? It also comes from Hebrews, and it's Hebrews 12:1. It says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with endurance the race God has set before us." Well, I got a little quote for you. Here it goes. It's from C.S. Lewis. "I believe in Christianity as I believe that the sun has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else. I see everything else." Our passage from verse 1 and 2 of Hebrews 11 is talking about all of the folks that have gone before us in faith. One of the arguments for the existence of God is the fact that throughout all of human existence, humankind has sought to know God, has sought to understand who God is, and to become intimate with God. And so when it talks about a great crowd of witnesses, specifically, this passage is talking about all of those who have come to know Yahweh, the God of Israel. And all of those prophets, all of those priests, all of those kings who were good kings, all of those who have walked with the Lord, this is what that passage is talking about. Since we have such a great cloud, of witnesses, man, since there are so many who believe and believe by faith, how can we just dismiss that? Well, truth is, we can't. We can't dismiss that. It's a huge, huge finger pointing at the eat at God sign out there. And this restaurant never closes. You never have to worry about finding a seat. You never have to worry about a slow waitress. And you never have to worry about cold food because God provides it all lickety split and with a smile. I tell you what, the Lord is good all the time. Yes, He is. But this great crowd of witnesses, they believe by faith, and it is through their faith that they believed God, even in times of really true weirdness, like, Abraham. 3 words from God, boom. Abraham leaves his home, his everybody he knows, and everything that, well, almost everything that he had. I mean, he took quite a bit with him. And then you go Boom! 15 chapters later in Genesis, and here he is. He's walking his only, well, not quite his only son, but the son of the promise. He walks him on up this mountain, and he's going to sacrifice. He's going to plunge a huge knife into his chest and sacrifice him to God just because God tells him to. Dude, that's faith. That is a huge amount of faith. And that faith is the faith that it becomes the seed of all faith. Because Abraham believed God and it was reckoned to him as righteousness, you know? And so Abraham becomes our great grandfather of faith. And through him, oh, by the way, just to let you know, Abraham was stopped. He didn't get to plunge that knife into the chest of his son. I imagine he went, dodge that bullet, man. But the Lord provided a sacrifice. There was a ram in a thicket caught by his horns. And so he sacrificed that ram to the Lord instead of his son. But he was willing to. And that's the point. The funny thing about faith is that it's not always something that you do. I mean, faith is, to begin with, a gift from God. But sometimes faith is given to you not so that you can perform some, really supernatural type of act like what Abraham did. You know, uh, man, I don't know what I would do if I had to march my son up a mountain and sacrifice him, and that would be kind of twisted, right? But the twisted part would be if Abraham didn't do it. You see, sometimes faith is all about what you don't do. You don't disobey, or you don't succumb to fear, or you don't succumb to peer pressure. But faith is when you actually give in to the will of God, no matter what it is, and all of the other stuff like fear and self-consciousness and what would people think? Oh my gosh, I might lose my standing at the country club. Oh, 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 oh. Or maybe I would get cut in line when trying to get a ticket to see the old car show. However, it may be, whatever it may be, whenever it may be, faith gets you through it. You know why? That's why. Faith will get you through it. God will get you through it. That's why Christians are always talking about God. It isn't so much that God just comes down supernaturally and superimposes all kinds of stuff like a video, where you get one picture and then another picture crashes into it or something like that. It's not like that at all. It's not like, Marvel Comics. God uses all kinds of different stuff. And it takes faith to recognize those things. You don't see that stuff if you don't see through faith. That's right. And that's pretty much what our quote had to say. It, it allows you to see everything else. So if you're looking for something that's not of this world, if you're looking for something that's better than what you got today, if you're looking for something better than what this world is showing you, especially on the TV news, if you're looking for something better, period, well, I'm here to tell you that Jesus is a better way. All right, well, I'm out of here. We'll catch you later. See you Thursday, okay? Bye-bye.